Guys, right now, Kylie is so worried that somebody's going to come out here and get on to us for being in here that she can't even have fun. Hey guys, Cody and Fred here. Say hi, Fred.
Hey.
We got a daddy-daughter day going on today. Probably like a half a day, not a full day.
It's like a half a day. We have to be back here by like 4 because I have to get ready.
There's only so much of her I can really stand, so
I don't even
about a
like
half a
you.
day is all I can stomach anymore.
I can't stand you for a quarter of a day, so.
Anyways, so this is kind of a couple of things. We got kind of we got about 3 tasks to get done today. We're going to head to town. First thing we're going to do is stop and grab some feed at the feed store before they close. Then we're going to head over to Temple, Texas, which is just down the road from us, because there's something I have been having my eyes on. Or really, y'all know I've been wanting a Dodge Power Wagon for a long time. This is not a Dodge Power Wagon video. But there's something else that I have always wanted from a child. Here, I'm going to hand this and let Fred hold it so I can drive. I think every man, I would assume, I don't know this, but at some point in his life wants. Can you hold that straight? You're going to make people sick at home. Not just on me.
What are you doing?
On both of us. But there you go.
This makes your arm tired.
Anyways, everybody wants a Peterbilt truck, right? Or a Kenworth or
not
something.
Everybody.
I think every man at some point in his development, Fred, if he's a real man, has at some point wanted to have a semi-truck.
Probably, yeah.
And I have wanted one for a long time, but a couple of things. I wasn't really in the position to purchase one. And not that we're really in the position to purchase one now. I mean, we have a little bit of disposable income, not much, but anyways, I found a little truck, and I stopped and looked at it a couple weeks ago and kind of talked to the guy, but we're going to go back today and look at it, and I want to see what you guys at home, you guys and gals at home think about it. Do you think semis are cool? Now, this is a 1986 Peterbilt 359, and according to Mr. Fisher, this one is kind of like got nearly every option you could order on one back in the day. I mean, it's got air conditioning. It doesn't have a cab. I mean, it's got a cab. It doesn't have a sleeper, but he said we can probably put one on it. So, y'all come along with it.
Yeah. We need that, huh?
Yeah, I might want to take a nap. I might want to make an overnight trip. You might ask, Cody, why do you want a Peterbilt 359?
I would like you to answer that question as well,
okay.
Actually.
Couple of things. You know, I have a gas pickup, which it does everything I want it to do. But sometimes, you know, like if I want to haul a bigger load, like if I wanted to get a bigger cattle trailer or a bigger flatbed trailer, it would pull it fine, but it ain't near as cool and fun as it is if you drive a Peterbilt. So it's mainly just a coolness factor, but really, like with the skid steer and the Mini X, and you know, maybe trying to get a business going with that, being able to use that, maybe use it a little bit as like a haul truck type scenario. And really, I just think it would be fun to have one. I mean, when we go to the cow sales or something, you know, take that instead of a pickup. It's just one of those things. I don't have hobbies. So
this is going to be your hobby?
Yeah, I don't play golf. I mean, we fish a little bit in tanks, but I don't spend any money on fishing tackle or fishing gear. You know, we go bird hunting at the house. We don't go and pay for guided hunts and stuff. I mean, we went on a hunt last year that was guided, but they invited us and we went. And you know, when we go quail hunting in New Mexico, we ride around. So it's just, I mean, I don't have any hobby stuff that I like to do outside of working, which we have plenty of that to do. But I don't know. I want one, and I kind of not really give up on the fact that I'm not going to find a Dodge Power Wagon, but like a Power Wagon, I want to get it and tinker with it and fix the stuff on it myself, kind of like we're doing with Clancy's pickup. An 18-wheeler, not so much so. I just kind of want to get one that's mechanically sound. I'm not looking to go to California in this thing or Florida. But, you know, driving it 40 or 50 miles around Central Texas, that's fine. Or I might just want to drive to town one day. You know, I want to see that coal roll.
I can't.
Out of both stacks.
I can't stand you.
So y'all come along with us today.
I cannot stand you.
Alright guys, so we made it over here, and the name of the place we're at is Peterbilts Customs. It's right off of I-35, just outside of, I guess I'd say between Belton and Salado. And this is the first thing we see. Now, being an Aggie myself, look at this baby. Now that's old school cool right there. Got the old big A&M on the back. All right, Fred, so come over here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of walk around and look at stuff, and I'm gonna let Fred see if she can decide which truck is the one she thinks that I would pick.
It's not that thing, right? With the horns on it?
They all have horns on them.
And, oh, that one right there, it's not it?
So we're gonna walk around and we're gonna look at some stuff, and then I'm gonna let Fred tell you after we look which one she thinks is the one I would pick. So let's start over here. So I'm really after, guys, let me turn y'all back around.
Dude, that would be freaking cool.
First thing, Fred likes the old cab over Kenworth here.
That thing is so cool looking.
So one thing, a Peterbilt is what I'm after.
Okay, good.
So, but there's lots of cool trucks here. So,
well, that one looks really nice and put together, and that's what you told me it was.
okay, so here we go. Let's start talking first. So, this is a Peterbilt. I don't know what year or model it is, but it's a lot newer than what I'm looking for because it is pretty new. But let me show you the things I don't like. I don't like the fenders on this. See how kind of modern looking those front fenders are?
Oh, okay.
I don't really like that. This truck also, if you come back here and look at it, this thing is long as a whale rope. Look at that. I mean, that's a long old truck. Look at this this is a cool one. This auto car right here. I really like the looks of it, but
I like the duck on there, the swan on that.
The swan, okay. So Fred says she likes the hood emblem on here, this little swan. This one's probably, it may be metal, yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's people in.
That's all right. This is a business, Fred. People are going to be coming in. This is a cool auto car. David, the owner here, though, this one's got sentimental stuff for him, so he's going to be keeping it. So that's not on the list. This old cab over Kenworth is pretty cool. I think this is called a needle nose Pete. It's really cool, but it's not up for grabs either. It's pretty cool because look at this, Fred. Something cool about this one is, huh? Like a tractor?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you call them, as tractors.
Yeah, I know.
This one's got the accordion hood on it, so in most big trucks, Fred, you grab the front like this and you pull the hood over to get to the motor, where this one, when you unpin it, it folds up so that you can get in there. This one don't have a motor in it, so.
That's the ugliest looking truck I've ever seen.
Well, this is the one I picked.
No, it ain't.
No. This is a W900A, I believe, or I don't know. Both of these Kenworths, and I'm kind of like the Kenworths also. If I couldn't find a Peterbilt like I really want, I would go with a Kenworth W900.
Yeah.
So like this truck right here, Fred, if we look at it, let me put this over here and see what we can get. So this truck is pretty cool. If I don't fall down. It's kind of like what we're looking for because it's kind of old school. It's got a flat top, kind of coffin type sleeper. But bring the camera over here and so you go to the other side and open the other door.
I don't want to open it. Are we getting in trouble?
Yeah, no, we're fine. We got plenty. We kind of got permission. So Fred's going to crawl up on the other side over here. So crawl on up in here. Step on up in here.
I'm not getting in there.
Step up there.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
No, you're not. I got permission to be here. The gate's open. So.
Ew, it stinks.
Yeah, this one's kind of old. I mean, the seats are molded. Yeah. But see, this is kind of plain. I mean, just a straight, flat dash across the front of it. It's got a sleeper.
I'm not.
You're not opening the sleeper? But lots of headroom in this one. I like that. But I just really, I'm not a truck driver, but I really think I'm a Peterbilt man, personally. What about y'all? Are you a Peterbilt or are you Kenworth? Freightliner maybe? So over here, we've got some Pete's.
Please have that bus.
No, actually this bus was purchased just because it's got a low mileage engine in it that he can pull out and put in a truck when he's redoing it. So
I want the whole bus.
all right, so here's some Pete's. What do we think about this one so far?
That's cool. But you said it didn't have sleepers, so that's on it.
It doesn't what?
Yours doesn't have a sleeper on it, and that's
The one I was looking at does not have a sleeper on it, right?
But this one's cool. I like the color scheme.
You like the tan and red?
Yeah.
Pretty Texas. That ain't. We've probably been by where this truck sits.
Probably. It's probably at that old junkyard that sits over there.
No.
Look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So here we go. Look at this stitching on here, guys. I guess it's stitching. Is it? No, I don't think that is stitching. Maybe it's just embossing.
Well, I just need that on the ranch to the limo.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So here is kind of what I'm talking about, Fred. When we look in here, now look at the dash on this one.
Yeah.
It's a lot cooler looking than that other dash, you know?
I like those little sparkly things on it.
So get you a feel for this, guys. I mean, I think these would be considered aftermarket gauges right here. These are probably originals. You know, when you look at an 18-wheeler from the outside, it's like those things are huge. But when you get in it, it's really not. I mean, it's probably, they're not as wide inside of them as a pickup is. So this one's pretty cool. But a couple of things I don't like about this one. Number one, I think this is probably a 379, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. You see anything on the where it tells you? What does this say right here? August of 1983. So this is probably a 359. They quit making the 359s in 1986. I'm going to see if it's said on here. It doesn't say what it is that I can see. That don't mean nothing, though. I'm not a big uh, 18-wheeler aficionado. Just so y'all know, this is the one I'm after right here. Fred picked it right off the bat. All right, Fred, what about this one? You want to even look at this one? So this guy right here, let's soak it up.
That's probably it.
Well, it's got a steel bed on it, which we don't need.
Oh.
It's got this big winch on it, which we don't need.
It would look like we came straight off of cars.
Straight off of cars? Fred said we come right straight off of cars. This fuel tank is way too big for this truck. It does not have a sleeper. What do you think about the paint job on this one, though? This is probably what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Two-tone red.
Yeah.
But then over here,
That's really bad.
The door's bleached out when you come around the cab there. Looky up here, though, Fred.
Oh, we got a swan.
We got a swan.
We got a swan.
What about the round headlights? You like the round headlights?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay. Needs a different bumper. That bumper's about ragged out. Needs a little fender work here. Look at that. That's
Yeah.
rotted out. Let's see what the inside. See, look. Missing all the lights. Needs lights in there.
So is yours more modern and more old? Or?
No, it's old. Now look at this.
Oh, wow.
What do y'all think about that?
Motor scene.
Really? Fred's initial thought is that looks like somebody died in there, Dad.
Somebody got shot.
Somebody got shot in there. Somebody died. And listen, look. It won't stick. You know why?
It's not real metal.
It's aluminum. It's aluminum. So
We don't even need to get in it then.
Fred says we don't even need to get in this one. This is it. Let me crawl up in here just to see. Oh man, that feels good. I mean, I really feel like I'm at home in here. Let me set y'all up here for just a second. Kind of. That's a little high. Let me point you down. There we go. Do I look good in this one?
Yeah, you look cool in there.
So does it say what this one is? Nothing on there, huh? Nothing you can read on this door right here?
121 air brake.
121 PSI on the air brakes. So this has a red interior. Look at this, Fred. It's got dual lights. Can you see my light out there?
Oh yeah, it's moving.
It's got a red interior. Nearly all the gauges on it are original. This has a 1, 2, 3. I think this has a 9 speed. Is that right? Low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's a 9 speed because it's got a low and then a first, a second, third, fourth. Then you you do your shifter, come back over. It's got an Eaton transmission in it. So you need a we need a big train horn to pull.
No.
Huh? Yeah.
You use Clancy's in there.
No, Clancy's is, guys, right now, Kylie is so worried that somebody's going to come out here and get on to us for being in here that she can't even have fun. David knows we were coming over. He told me to come over today.
And that we could look at
Well, yeah, we can look at anything we want to. It's
okay.
fine.
Okay.
Have some fun.
Okay.
My gosh. Yeah, I can just feel myself jamming gears in this thing.
You'd look cool. I think you'd be pretty cool in that. Where's the horn at?
It would go through right here.
Oh.
That's where your sun visor goes on. So, let me show you all the dash in this truck.
Is this the one you're getting?
It's door panels. Would you say this is red or maroon in here? Maroon. So, this is what they call the Corvette dash. It's got this rounded dash right here and then it flattens out. It's got AC. You know, it's got a window in the back. This guy's pretty rough. It's going to take a lot to get this thing going if this is the one we were to choose.
But you don't want this, right?
Huh?
This isn't it, right?
What do you not like about this truck?
I like it. But you seem like you were spending a lot of time here, so I was kind of starting to think that this was it. But you also said that you weren't having to fix a lot on the interior, so I'm pretty sure this isn't the one you were looking at.
All right, let's look at the rest of it. So,
I just want the bus.
huh?
Why do we need an 18-wheeler? We could have that bus.
Fred says we need the bus, not the 18
See, it
wheeler.
says nobody you know on it. And
Nobody
it has
you know.
paint job on
That's
it.
what we could put on ours, huh? Just if you see nobody you know coming down the road, just wave because it's us. So here's another 359.
Ew. You should see the curtains in that thing. They're maroon with like gold on the edges.
Let's see. This was Liberace's bus.
Who? Are we allowed to be on this?
Woo wee! Look at that. Ladies first.
That's so freaking. I don't want to go in. That's freaking awesome.
Look at this thing,
You're
guys.
literally telling me we don't need this right now?
Yeah, I'm absolutely telling you we don't need this.
We could go on so many
Man.
vacations.
Red velvet.
We
Red
would
velvet.
We would look like RV, the big old rolling turd.
Fred says this would be like RV, big rolling. It says songwriter. This was a song bus. This was a songwriter's bus.
I know. I have to call Mom.
Look at this. Look at these old bunks. Be pretty tight sleeping if you were this feller. I'm pretty sure I'm inhaling black mold as we speak.
Oh yeah.
This is the main quarters back here. It's hotter than Satan's bathwater in this bus right here, but look. Songwriter. I should have brought my guitar. What stories could this old bus right here tell? I mean, what could it be telling, you know?
Literally told him that.
Back there. Willie Nelson probably sat right back there and wrote a song one day.
Cody, we can have a tour bus and go on for all our events. We could just ride on that and drive it to all our events. That's awesome.
No. No.
Dad hates it, but look, it's even got greenery.
Greenery. I'm pretty sure it's got black mold too.
Yeah, it really smells.
This is probably like a fireplace right here. I almost tripped over something right there.
Me too. Exotic. Oh wow, this was probably not the bus we should be on.
What's it say? Exotic dancers?
Exotic princess. Oh, I gotta show that.
Take a look at this. Man, it's got some wood paneling.
Yeah.
Songwriter. Exotic princess. Socially hazardous stickers. But, alright, well.
I know. Okay, love you back.
I mean, just the things you find.
Mom said to bring it home, so.
It's a cool piece of history right here.
That thing's freaking awesome.
So,
it's that one right there.
I didn't see that one earlier. Let's go take a look at this. Fred says
cool.
That's a Kenworth, though.
Oh.
It is cool looking, though. Fred spied this old maroon guy right back here. I'm not a cab over fan.
No, I really don't think you get one.
This old Kenworth here.
Kind of
Yeah, but I don't think this is cool as a Peterbilt. It's locked up. And it's way longer.
sweet. Yeah.
Since we're not going to be real, true
Truckers?
we don't really need all that long width and stuff like that.
What is that?
Yeah, but I don't like the fenders on it. There's one more up here that we didn't look at. What's up, DJ? Good. Hey guys, this is the owner's son. This is David Jr. DJ, that's what you go by sometimes, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So we're here just looking around, trying to see what we can see, and
A couple cool things out here.
yeah,
here and there.
we took the tour of the old bus here, so pretty cool. So
Yeah.
tell the folks, what's the address here?
The address is 7400 South I-35 down in Belton, Texas.
And it's called Fisher Customs.
Fisher-built custom haulers.
Fisher Built Custom Haulers. Awesome. Well, we've kind of looked at everything out here. We got one more Pete right here to look at. And then do y'all got anything inside?
Inside,
You got the black one inside?
we have it backed up to the back door right now, just going all through it, trying to fix up all the little nicks and crannies on it. Make
Okay.
sure all the doors shut, seals keep the water out, and the windows go up and down.
All right, we're going to go back there and check it out. Fred, this is the only one we haven't looked at right here. So this is a 359 also, right?
Yes, sir.
All three of these?
Yes, sir. All three of them are 359s. I think this one right here is a 78. That one right there is a 85, and I believe this one's an 84.
Okay. I thought this was an 86.
This one right here?
Yeah.
I believe this one is a 78. I checked on
78.
the tag.
Awesome.
And that is the first year, actually, of the scroll print interior, and it was the first year of the Corvette style dash.
That's pretty cool. So now it's kind of moving up on the list, Fred. First year of the Corvette dash, first year of the scroll on it. So let's take it. You said this one you think is a what?
This one right here, I believe, is an 84.
DJ, the overall length on them, are they all about the same length?
They're a little bit different. This one right here is a 270-inch wheelbase, I believe. That one we have stretched out to 290, and if I'm not mistaken, this one is 270 as well.
Okay, so these two are about the same.
Yes, sir.
So one of the downfalls on this truck that we first looked at that has the 78 model is it doesn't have a sleeper, but that's not really that big a deal, right? I mean,
No, sir.
you can add a sleeper pretty easily, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, in '78, they had a crawl-through sleeper to where you just remove that window right there. And
So what DJ's talking about is it originally this, if you had a sleeper on this truck, you would crawl through the back window to get into it, versus
a big opening like you got in this one right here.
okay, that's awesome. So
But
this
what a lot of people are starting to do now on the newer Peterbilts, they're called unibuilt openings, to where it kind of goes out to the edge of the cab, which will allow you to lean your seat back into the sleeper to have a little bit more room for comfortability.
So what do you? Hang on, let's get that turned around. So what do you like better? Do you like the? What's cool now? I mean, do you want to keep it more? Do you like the big opening like this, or do you like the? I mean, I don't think anybody wants to crawl through a window anymore.
I know it's a very unpopular opinion on the crawl through, but me, I'm all about originality.
Okay.
I do like the crawl through. I think it's cool. I think it's timeless. I think it kind of gives you an idea what people had to go through back in the day, and it's just kind of cool to see how far trucking and the whole trucking industry has came.
So like, all right. So like this one, this is a big hole, but not the big hole, right?
For the time, this was the biggest hole they had.
Okay, so this would be a factory opening in this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you see, I mean, from the floor all the way up, almost to the top of the cab, you've got a big opening in there. So really, if you had another seat in right here, a third person could either ride in the sleeper or sit on the edge of the bench there.
One thing I've seen a couple people start doing, which I think it's pretty cool, they're starting to take these and use them more for like almost everyday use to pull like a gooseneck type deal. And what they'll do is get one of those little sliding couches, so to where you can make it just an extra seat back there, or you can push the button and it'll extend out to a little bit.
Okay. And is that stuff y'all can do here?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm kind of leaning more towards maybe this. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of the truck drivers, the true truck drivers, if I was going to spend 8 or 10 hours a day in my truck, I would probably want that seat to slide all the way back in there and where I could stretch out on the interstate. But for us, really, I mean, most of our driving is going to be 50 or 100 miles from the house. I mean, we're never really going to have time to get uncomfortable in it. And I really don't think you'll be too uncomfortable just riding right there anyway. So if we were to like go with a truck like this 78 model, we could put a sleeper on it and cut this solid hole in it where it was easy to get in and out of.
The hole, actually, to make it just like that, these rivets right here, you can just take these out and it opens it up just like this, and you could put a sleeper ring in there to where you could put one of these type of sleepers on it.
Okay, so what DJ was saying, guys, is right here there's a line of rivets that run down this truck, and you can just pop those rivets out from the inside, and then this cover will come off, and then you can put a sleeper like we have on this one. Now this is this is a 36 inch. They call this a coffin sleeper.
Yes, sir.
It's a flat top. I wish I could, I'm gonna crawl up on this flatbed here in a minute, but you see that it's not part of the cab. There's a gap there, maybe 3 inches, and then there's a rubber boot that goes in there between the cab and the sleeper. And what that does is, I guess the sleeper can move a little bit separate from the cab, or is a sleeper mounted solid to the frame?
The sleeper's mounted on 4 mounts, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and the old style mounts are just on some like rubber bushings.
Gotcha.
But a lot of people nowadays are switching it over to air ride just so it rides more comfortable, just in case you had some people in the back. And
then here, you know, the cab can move a little bit separate from the sleeper, and then that keeps it from getting water in there and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool. One main thing I see wrong with this one is there's no engine in it.
This one right here has a sailboat motor in it right now.
Has a sailboat motor?
Yeah.
That means it's wind powered, guys. But that's not a problem either. The guys here at Peterbilt they've got motors to put in. I mean, and that's one thing, you know, when you start talking about trucks, and DJ knows more about this than I do. I mean, you got Cat fans, you got Detroit fans, you got, what are the other?
Cummins as well.
Cummins.
Those are the big 3.
I mean, everybody's got their own idea of what their perfect motor is. To me, it doesn't really make me any difference because I'm not going to spend my life in this thing. I mean, we're just trying to find a truck to we want it to be functional. We want to be able to haul our trailers with it, pull our equipment, maybe haul some cattle, maybe even start taking some outside hauling jobs. But realistically for us, I mean, any of those three would suffice. But like, what does this 78 have in it?
This one right here has an old Screamin' Jimmy Detroit.
Okay.
An 8V92. It's got actually, I believe, a supercharger, and it's also turboed as well. The supercharger builds up the RPMs to where it can allow the turbo to open up to allow it to get the maximum horsepower.
Awesome. So that would probably do for us, but one thing we don't like is this big bed on it. We don't need that. So, but the guys can pull that off. I mean, that's the thing about custom built rigs, is you can customize them. You can do whatever you want to. I mean, I saw pictures that your dad showed us of, you know, he'll build a flatbed like it's on my pickup for one of these things. You know, if you want it to have boxes on the side or whatever, they can do all kinds of stuff. So,
yeah, my dad's a very talented man. I just hope that hopefully one day I can hone the skills that he's trying to teach me and be able to replicate it for myself.
That's awesome. Well, let's go take a look at one of the other ones in the shop there. So, what was your question, Fred?
I asked if we found the one that you wanted me to guess was the one you liked.
So it was the very first one you said you thought I would like, the red and white one?
That's what I thought.
With the big metal bed on it?
Yeah.
That's the one that I fell in love with when we first got. That's the one I actually saw from the highway, making a couple of trips down to Austin, and that's the one that's struck me the most. There's one more back here, but I think somebody else has already spoke for it. I came too late, but I'm going to show it to y'all. But there's some over here that's pretty cool. Did y'all do this truck?
This one right over here,
the orange one, the double sleeper. Did y'all do it originally?
No, we didn't. This actually belonged to Tyrone Malone. He was.
Is that post Dad?
That was pre-Dad.
I was talking about Post Malone. I said, is that post his dad or?
Oh no, sir. This guy right here, he was just. I don't know if he necessarily hauled anything, but he did build a lot of really crazy trucks. And he raced them. This one actually, I believe in 1970, broke the land speed record for working class truck at 117 miles an hour.
117 miles for a working truck. So does that mean it was basically not factory, but it was?
Oh no, sir.
It was still using it.
Yes, sir. It was using it on the road. They had, when I mean working class truck, they also had drag trucks that weren't legally allowed to be on the road due to too much power. So
this truck could still drive up and down the road, make a regular haul, but then they'd unhook and race.
Yes,
Look,
sir.
This is how you know you're bad to the bone, when you got your name put on your tires. It says Tyrone Malone.
This one is going to be a complete frame-up restoration. We're going to do it back in the same color. This truck did have about 6 paint jobs on it, but I do think this is the most memorable one. This is the one that I feel like most of the people would remember. The other ones were a little bit before this generation's time, so I don't think too many people would remember it. But this old girl right here actually has the same motor, but doubled as the one in that 78 over there. This is a V12 Detroit.
V12 Detroit, awesome. Here's what caught my eye about it though, is show them this sleeper.
This sleeper right here is a big single door Kenworth original sleeper. It has a rippled back on it, something you don't see too often anymore. An original one anyways. A lot of people are bending it out of aluminum panels and trying to recreate it, which I think that's awesome. It's very nostalgic what they're doing with it. We do got all the door, we got every part to this. We have it all put back into a trailer for when we get this pulled in, and we're going to get it all put together, then strip it all back down again and
redo it.
But
what they did was this is 2 coffin sleepers, 36-inch sleepers, butted back, I guess face to face or back to back.
They're back to back. This one was actually the one that went to the truck, and from what I heard and the pictures I've seen, this one actually was a bar in here. You had 2 stools in here and a little bar. And then after you got done having fun in here, you crawled back to this one right here to where you actually went to bed.
That's pretty cool.
And they're actually called his and hers sleepers. So this sleeper right here would have been, the doors are right here. The paint's pretty gone on those, but I do have some doors on the inside of the shop that the paint schemes, you can see everything on. One of them says his and the other door would say hers.
Cool. All right, well, let's head into the shop. So DJ, let's tell them again. So back in the, when did you say it was, in the 70s or 80s?
In the 80s. This truck actually right here was done by my dad and Von Otto. Still got his signature on the side right there. He was very good at airbrush work and pinstriping work back in the day. He did a lot of work on big trucks.
And it was made for the American Truck Driving School.
And it was kind of like a recruitment truck, to where they'd come up to like expos or whatnot, and people would come and you'd see all these really nice trucks, and they'd draw people in to say, if you sign up with our school, then maybe you'll get to drive one of these trucks for us.
Cool.
And I think this was about one of about 8 trucks that they had all together back in the day. I know they had a double sleeper just like that, the Boss truck over there, Peterbilt 359. They had a K100 with a, I believe, 140-inch sleeper on the back of it. They had a Freightliner as well, and they had, I think they had a Marmon. Yep, they had a Marmon. My dad built the Marmon in the shop. But
so your dad built all of those, or most of them?
he built the Marmon from scratch, and he did most of the paint work on the other ones.
Okay. And then, but this is the last one that's left that y'all know of, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
This is the last one. The cab we got inside, we have already sanded it down and got a couple coats of clear on it to save the original paint. That's one thing I want to try to keep, is the originality of it.
So here's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. This is David Sr., right? Big
Yes,
Dave?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Fisherbilt right here from Fisherbilt Customs. And Clancy and I stopped by about a week ago. We just happened to be over here doing some stuff. So Clancy and I came by, and we've already looked at a lot of this stuff. But I had a chance to talk to David and DJ here, and I thought we'd come back over because the plan is the truck that I've kind of got the most interest in is the 1978 Peterbilt 359 out there. And what we're thinking is that David and DJ are going to try to get it into the shop one day this week and see if they can get the engine to crank. I mean David knows it'll crank. It's just get it running and see what it sounds like, see if there's any engine work that needs to be done, maybe try to take it down the road and see how the transmissions and the rear ends and all that kind of stuff are working out on it. We know right off the bat that, I mean, David wants it to be safe. I mean, the whole group here at Fisherbilt Customs wants it to be safe and functional, so they're going to go through and change air lines, I guess brake lines, fuel lines,
seals, brakes, hoses,
check all the lights,
filters,
everything.
I mean, make it functional, but we want to kind of preserve as much of the old stuff that's in there as possible. It's going to need probably all new glass all the way around it. Both windshields are busted. The side glass on the passenger side is knocked out. I think there's a hole maybe in the back glass. So
yeah,
that's just.
I don't think they missed any of them.
Yeah, that's just the treacherous of being on the highway, I guess. People come by and do silly stuff like that. Or I mean, keep in mind too that's nearly a 50-year-old truck. It don't like much being 50 years old, right?
Right.
It's a 46-year-old truck. So.
Yeah, it was born the year I was supposed to graduate.
There you go. But so we came over just to kind of get a look at the truck before these guys got it in and started doing anything with it, so that we could share with y'all. If we're able to move along with this process, I want to share that with you guys. The process of bringing this truck back to life and getting it back on the road with these guys.
If you don't mind me asking, what made you interested in the 359 with all the other choices out there?
Well, I've always wanted a Peterbilt. I mean, I like the Kenworth W900As. I mean, those are pretty cool old trucks too, and y'all got a couple of those sitting out there.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, when I think of a truck, if you're going to have a big truck, Peterbilt is what I think about, you know. And I don't like the new ones too much. I like that old school, cool kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the 351s are awesome, but I mean, what's the chances you're going to find one of those things anywhere that isn't just a complete wreck? You know? And if you did, I mean, ain't no telling what it would cost you if you wanted to buy it. I mean,
that's like my favorite truck myself.
Is a 351?
That is my favorite.
You got one of them sitting back here somewhere?
It's right over there.
The needle nose one with the yeah, but Dad said that one wasn't. That one couldn't leave. You said that one couldn't leave. So, but those are cool trucks. But I also kind of want some of the creature comforts. I wanted to have like air and AC. I don't guess the 51s had that, did they, back in the day?
Oh, but it will.
You can add it, but
they had the 250 AC, 2 windows down at 50 miles
there you
an
go.
hour.
I see a lot of guys put the aftermarket ones on the roof, but I don't want
to. Or the red dots. Yeah.
I don't want to cut a hole in the roof of a truck either. You know, I mean, it just seems to me like a good opportunity.
You can put vintage air though. You can put vintage air in it. You don't have to do that. A lot of guys like that old look, but you can put vintage air in it. That's probably what we want to end up doing. Or we may put a unit on the top.
But I don't know. Those kind of old trucks look cool. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I love to see them. I'm starting to see a few more of the older trucks back on the road. I've seen a lot of, not a lot, but comparatively, I've seen a lot more cab overs on the road. I think that's really cool.
I think the cab over is coming back. I drove a cab over just a little bit in the feed yard I worked in with Bubba there.
Yeah.
We had an old cab over Freightliner, and I never was really a fan of it. I mean, they're a lot harder to crawl in and out of, and
at the end of the day, it's tough.
And I'm getting older, and I want it to be fun, not a job to crawl in and out of it. But there are some pretty cool old cab overs, you know.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know. I've always wanted a truck, and I've always thought if I ever got one, I'd want a Peterbilt. And then the 379s are pretty cool too. I like them, but I really like the round headlights on the 359s.
Corvette dash.
The Corvette dash is cool, so that's kind of how I landed on that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the 359. I'm 359 over 79 every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah. So I mentioned a name here when DJ and I were talking to a guy named Bubba. So it's just to show you how small a world is. I mean, we don't live but like 35, 40 miles from where we're at here. But when I was in high school, part of the time in college, and after I graduated from college, the preconditioning yard that I worked in, where I learned most everything I know about running stocker calves and feedlot cattle and stuff like that. I worked with a guy named Bubba Bates, and every day. I mean, he drove. We have a thing called a roping seat. He drove, and I roped off the roping seat. I did all the feeding and the doctoring. He did all the pulling. I mean, the first calf I ever roped off of a horse I was with Bubba when I did it, and his son and DJ are big buddies. And the first day we come in, he was like, "Hey, do you know Bubba?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know Bubba real well." I mean, I think if I look back on my phone, I've got a picture of the first sheep we ever put Judd, Bubba's boy, on when he was 4 or 5 years old.
That.
So
he's got. I've seen that picture on the wall in Bubba's house.
Yeah. So it just, you never know who you're going to run into, in this world, and how small it is. So that's pretty neat. But Fred's let me know that we got about 15 minutes before we have to leave, because she thinks she needs about an hour to get dressed up for when we go to eat supper tonight. But check this out. So David's uncovering this American Truck Driving School for us. So look at this thing.
Yeah, this was sitting out there for a while. I'm very surprised this paint was saved and was able to look the way it does right now. But this is the truck that we're going to get ready first and take this to all the shows, kind of reintroduce it to the world. It's been in the shadows for long enough. It's time to come back out and say hello to everybody that's missed this truck. And on the inside,
let me step around here.
You can't really see it too well, but it's decked out in red, quilted interior all the way throughout, seats match, and all the way through the roof and whatnot.
We're not going to pull the plastic off, guys, but yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Got this right here. This one's my pride and joy right here.
So will y'all own this truck, or does American Truck Driving School still own it?
We own this truck right now. We've been contacted trying to get it, but this is one of the things that my dad built back in the day, and for one day when I have my own family, instead of just telling stories, I'd like to be able to show them something that my dad did, and something I helped them get back on the road, which is something that I take a lot of pride in.
That's awesome. So right out here, guys, this was the first truck that David Sr. showed me the other day when Clance and I came. No, that's not it, is it?
Yep,
that's the one that's parked out back? Okay. And I absolutely fell in love with it to begin with, but somebody else beat me to the punch. So, David, what is this one? Tell me what this guy is.
This one is a 1987 Peterbilt 359. This is actually the last year of Peterbilt 359s being made.
I thought they quit in 86. They made them to 87?
They did make them to 87, so which in 87 they had what you would call the classic 359s. They were numbered trucks up until the 359. We did think this was one of them at first, but unfortunately it wasn't. It was a filler truck is what they'd call it.
So is it, what does a filler truck mean? It was leftover inventory in stock that they wanted to use up before the new style came out?
Yes, sir.
So what replaced the 359? The 379?
The 379 came out actually in 87 as well. They did their last classic 359s, and they were already in the production of the 379 for when that came out.
Awesome. I'm going to go to can I get on the other side?
Yes, sir.
I'll go around. So this guy is black. It's already got the, we'll just, you coming, Fred?
No.
Okay, she said I'm not going through the weeds, Dad. Now this truck is a pretty good shape, really. I mean, last time when I came, most of the interior was still in it, but they've started pulling that out. Y'all are going to completely replace this interior, right?
Yes, sir. I already got a brand new set of this original, by the way. A brand new set of original interior for this. It's going to go back in here. And the hard part is going to be finding little things like this, the lights and whatnot, getting the covers right. But I've done enough searching and hunting to where I know where there's a few fishing ponds at, to where I can go get out there and get some.
And then here, see guys, this one's got the big hole already made in it back here.
This one was actually originally a sleeper truck. This is not the original glass. This is handmade. Somebody put this in here to convert it to a day cab. It's been something I've kind of wanted to put back a sleeper on it, but this truck's a little too short to do what we kind of want to do with it. So I think we're going to keep it a day cab, but we may use, on the new Peterbilts, they have way bigger back windows that extend out to about right here. So we may put a more modern Peterbilt window in it, so it helps with the visibility. Gotcha.
So pretty cool old truck. Like you said, it's got the Corvette dash in it.
One thing also very interesting about that 78 out there is it's just one of those little rare things that it has. If you look in here on the speedometer, it's just a regular Stuart Warner speedometer. Just 0 to 100, but on the one out in the 78, they're actually branded Peterbilt, and they're actually electronic. This is a manual one, to where, I mean, the cord can break and it's done, but on that one out there, it's actually electronic gauge, to where they only made it, I think, 2 or 3 years with the electronic gauge with the Peterbilt implemented.
That's awesome. So what's the wheel, how long is this truck?
This one right here, I believe, is a I'm trying to find the plate. It's not right there. I believe this one right here is a 260 wheelbase.
And the one at the 78 is a
I believe that's a 290.
290. Okay, so it's 3 foot shorter. This one is.
Yes, sir. And the way you can tell, this one has a carpet little firewall right here, but behind this firewall there's a little brass plaque that will have all the serial numbers and whatnot on it, and it'll say S29 on it. Basically, what that means is standard hood, and the 29 would be 290-inch wheelbase. If it was an extended hood, it would say, I think, EX, and then it would say whatever the number is. It'd be a 2-digit number, and that would just be the wheelbase with a 0 added to the end of it.
Gotcha. And that one out there, the 78 out there, it's not an extended hood either, right? It's a standard hood.
Standard hood.
How much longer is an extended hood?
I don't know
roughly.
Exactly. I don't want to butcher this, but it's roughly about like 6 inches longer to 7 inches longer.
That's probably a little cooler. I mean, everybody's like, oh, you need to get an extended hood, but to me, it's not that big a deal. I mean, like I said, and keep in mind, guys, that I'm not looking for a show truck because, number one, I personally, this is my opinion, it's not, y'all don't have to agree with it, but I don't think you can buy a show truck and take it to shows. I think that's, for it to be a show truck, I think you need to build it. I mean,
either a story.
You either need to do all the mechanical work, but maybe you're not a painter and you have somebody paint it, or maybe you're a really good painter, not that good a mechanic, and you have somebody help you do all the mechanical work, and then you put a really smoking paint job on it. But for me, I mean, I wouldn't want to come in here and say, hey, David, DJ, here's an open checkbook. Y'all build me a show truck that's going to win the shows, and then me drive it in there and act like I built it, or even just drive it in there and give them the credit and show it. To me, that's not right. I just want something we can tinker around in and have a good time. I mean, it don't have to be slick and super pretty. It don't have to have an all new paint job, any of that kind of stuff. I want it to have a cool air conditioner, and I want it to run up and down the road, and I want it to crank every time I turn the key on it. So awesome. Let's take this one. Let's soak this one up a little bit, guys. This is the one, like I said, that first caught my eye. Number one of the reasons it caught my eye is because I really think I want a little bit shorter truck. And when we first started talking about this, I was hoping I really wanted a single axle truck. But the more I think about it, I think I want to start with a dual axle under it. And then if later on, if I'm like, this is too long, or I really would rather have it just a little bit shorter, we can go in there and chop, you take the front axle out, get it out of the way, move the rear axle up, and chop the frame off, and that's pretty easy. I mean, I'm not going to say easy, but
it's a lot easier to shorten it than it is to extend it.
Right. Sure. We don't want to have to go back and say, I don't think I like that much. So.
And a lot of people, they love those 300, 330-inch wheelbases. I kind of like the shorter ones and how my dad used to build those custom skirted little
Flatbeds
on it. I think that looks cool. It's different.
It's different.
It's a conversation starter at every truck stop.
That might be something we might look at doing later on, but I think right now I would like to just keep it kind of original. I mean, I know it's not original, but I mean, I don't think that's probably an all numbers matching truck. Do you? I mean,
I actually do think it is.
Really, you think the motor and all that's?
I think it's all original. That's actually a very low mileage truck.
Right.
I think it only has 150,000 miles on it, or 180. I know it's under 200.
On the 378? I mean, the 1978?
Yes, sir. And one thing also very special about that truck is it has a chrome steering shaft. It has a chrome gear shifter in it. It was a very packaged out truck. That was about it. And it has the VIT steering wheel in it as well. That's the vehicle improvement team that they had back in the day.
Okay.
It was, for the trucks you could get back then, that was about the top of the line you could get from Peterbilt at the time.
Awesome. Well, guys, we're going to close out our video for today. I want to give a huge shout out to Fisher Built Customs in Belton, Texas. Tell them where they can find y'all's social media stuff, where they can look at your stuff.
On Instagram, our Instagram is Fisherbuilt, just Fisher then BILT. And YouTube, it's Fisherbuilt as well. We haven't started any videos yet. We just got done making all of the accounts and whatnot. And outside of that, that's all we have for social media right now.
So guys, one of the things, like when Clance and I first came in here a week or so ago, the DJ and another guy that were in here, they kind of recognized us when we came in, and it took them a little while to ask, you know, hey, are y'all those guys from Gatesville, or y'all Bar 7 Ranch? But DJ is super motivated to start putting out content on the stuff that they do here, because it's really cool, and you don't see much content around that. I mean, most of the guys that kind of do that kind of stuff, they're maybe a little bit secretive because they don't want somebody copying them, but DJ sees the value in using social media to market their business, and that's all something he's wanting to get going, and trying to get Big Dave involved in it. I think he's kind of coming around a little bit, isn't he?
He is.
He's starting to see maybe some value in it. So go check out their stuff. If you get to see this video, that means we're probably going to be moving forward on this. We're probably going to put it up either way, even if we can't come to an agreement where I need to be as far as the money I want to spend on a truck and what they want to do on a truck. I'm still going to put it up because these guys are awesome, and I know there's somebody out there that needs a truck or wants a truck, and these guys can hook you up. So y'all keep trucking, keep ranching. We'll see you next time.